Now comes a story from Martha Teichner, which can best be described as puzzling.
You are about to engage in Pancake Pictionary.
We're trying to communicate with our table using only pancakes.
Say what?
We have to communicate to them this name, Hermione Granger from Harry Potter, without words, without spelling, just pancakes.
It was January 2020, before COVID, that I met A.J. Jacobs.
The puzzles come in all shapes and sizes.
Overgrown kid and puzzle nerd doing research.
1, 2, 3.
Yes!
Yes, research for his new book.
Another fairy godmother.
Isn't that an arrow in her head? One more pancake and we got this.
This, believe it or not, is MIT, home of the MIT Mystery Hunt. The prize? A coin hidden somewhere on campus. But the prize isn't really the point.
This is the granddaddy of all puzzle hunts. It's been going on for 40 years, and there are 2,000 people, over 50 teams. So it's like Ironman triathlon for the brain.
Silly, you say?
All right, so AJ...
The storyline for the 2020 hunt involved goings-on at an imaginary fairy tale-themed amusement park. The solution to one puzzle was a clue to the next. Hundreds of different ones.
Rubbing his nose. This is part of the puzzle. You can't solve the puzzle without rubbing
his nose.
For more than 2 years, I tagged along with A.J. Jacobs on his puzzling adventures, even though I'm terrible at puzzles and games.
I've never played with a Rubik's Cube before in my whole life. I don't know what it means to solve it.
To solve means every side is just one color.
During the worst of COVID, we dropped in via Zoom
It's moving so fast it's sort of blurry.
on Daniel Rose Levine, a Rubik's Cube whiz, then 17, holder of several world's records.
So timer on.
You saw it.
How many seconds?
47 seconds.
Wow.
With his feet.
Okay, that goes there.
AJ being AJ, he had to try this Rubik's variation, the Star Minx.
That is messed up.
He never solved it.
Yep. And now it's broken.
Why are you so fascinated with puzzles?
Puzzles to me are all about curiosity. And curiosity to me is the most important human value we have. Without curiosity, we'd be nowhere.
A.J. Jacobs likes slotting himself into his subject matter. For one of his books, he read the entire Encyclopedia Britannica. For another, he followed the Bible to the letter.
Here I am in the great Vermont corn maze, 100% lost.
So, of course, he had to attempt, possibly, the hardest corn maze in the country.
Here is the bell of frustration. And I am frustrated.
It took him nearly 4.5 hours, but he made it out.
So you picked up quite a cheap chess set, huh?
Like a real-life Forrest Gump, amateur AJ sat down with chess grandmaster and former world champion Garry Kasparov, now an outspoken critic of Vladimir Putin.
Can offer him many that cannot be solved by any grandmaster.
I want to see some of those.
They're talking about chess problems, super difficult, counterintuitive scenarios.
Studies help you to understand the geometry of the board.
Right.
Sometimes, it's like Alice in the Wonderland. So yes, you move in one direction, but you end up in the other direction.
My book kind of covers how life imitates puzzles and problems.
It's basically the same as you learn from chess, because life is about making decisions.
Simple as that.
Yeah, exactly.
Simple. Ha!
These pegs, you have to turn not 100 times, not 1,000, not 1,000,000, 1.2 decillion times. That's 1 with 33 digits after it.
Look at this contraption, named after AJ, Jacob's Ladder.
Literally impossible to solve.
So why try?
Well, that's what I love about it. It represents the joy of trying. It's about the journey. And to me, it's a great metaphor for what puzzles should be.
That journey included a trip to see one of the most famous unsolved puzzles in the world.
It's been a long time.
A kind of puzzler's holy grail. Even getting a look at it is almost impossible because it's located at CIA headquarters in Langley, Virginia.
There it is, Cryptos.
It's called Kryptos and involves codes.
There is a solution that's kept sealed here.
Randy Burkett is one of the CIA's historians.
Part 1 starts at the top left on this side. This is the encrypted section. And it flows through 1 and 2. 3, it falls below the rivets there. And 4 is at the very bottom.
Since it was unveiled in 1990, 3 of its 4 sections have been solved.
I tried to memorize the first one. Between subtle shading and the absence of light lies the nuance of illusion.
He misspelled illusion on purpose with a Q for the second L.
Occlusion.
What are the chances that this is all, at the end, a huge joke?
That chance is there.
It's enough to drive you crazy.
This is the position of the bolts here.
The puzzles A.J. Jacobs loves, they're all really complicated. As he says, just like life.
It's like Mount Everest, but for the mind. You know, this is like millions of human hours of labor, all to crack this. And in some sense, that's absurd, but in some sense, I think it's inspiring.
If you know a 3-letter word for a sea eagle is an ern, that's E-R-N, chances are you like to spend your time solving these.
How many crossword puzzles do you solve a day?
At this point, I probably solve an average of 10 a day, maybe more, depending on how busy I am with the rest of my life.
Odd trivia and unusual vocabulary are par for the course for crossword puzzle enthusiasts or cruciverbalists like Dan Fair. He's the reigning American crossword puzzle tournament champion and one of the fastest solvers in the country. Those daily 10 puzzles take him all of 10 minutes to do.
I know almost every fact about Yoko Ono because Ono is a super famous person as well as a very useful set of letters.
You probably also know a lot about Yoda.
Yes.
For 100 years now, we've had a love affair with the crossword. You know, love, as in 0 in tennis. Or all you need, according to the Beatles.
Keeps your mind sharp, and it's a good way for people to get to know each other, apparently, and eventually leads to marriage and family.
So it went for Corey Newman when, with the help of the Washington Post, he proposed to his now wife, Marlo, in a Sunday crossword puzzle.
My heart was racing, I was real nervous. She sat down next to me, we started doing the puzzle, and she actually completed her name. You know, she figured out Marlo Epstein, and I was so sure at that point she would know something was up, and sure enough, she didn't. She just figured it was the biggest coincidence ever.
It wasn't until 51 across, the clue, words with a certain ring to them, that Newman got down on one knee.
Will you marry?
Yes, of course. Oh my God!
The very first crossword puzzle ran in the New York World on December 21st, 100 years ago this week. It was the creation of this man, Arthur Wynne.
On the Sunday before Christmas in 1913, he invented a puzzle he called a word cross. It was in the shape of a hollow diamond. The first answer across the diagram was filled in for you. It was fun.
Will Shortz is crosswords editor for the New York Times.
It was an immediate success with readers, so it became a weekly feature in the world. It continued into the early 1920s, and by that time there were a few other newspapers in the country running crosswords, but very few. Hardly anyone knew this puzzle.
All that changed when 2 young Columbia University journalism graduates decided to enter the world of publishing.
They were Dick Simon and Max Schuster. One of them had an aunt who was a big fan of the crosswords in the world, and she suggested they do a book of crosswords. So they went to the puzzle editors at the World, and the trio of editors there put together the world's first crossword book.
And the very first book by what would become publishing giant Simon & Schuster, which is now owned by CBS. It launched a national craze.
B&O Railroad installed unabridged dictionaries on its trains for the convenience of its puzzle-loving passengers. There were crossword dresses, crossword contests in all the newspapers with huge prizes. There was a show on Broadway called Puzzles of 1925, in which the climactic scene was set in a crossword puzzle sanatorium.
But creator Arthur Wynne, the man who started it all, never cashed in on his invention.
He went to his boss and he said, "This seems to be taking off." He said, "Should I have it copyrighted?" And he said, "No, it's a passing fad, Arthur, don't waste your money." And so Daddy never made a dime.
Catherine Wynne Cutler of Clearwater, Florida, is Arthur Wynne's daughter. Puzzles were part of her childhood.
When I was little, he and Mother went to the store and left me alone in the house reading. And he said, "Your instructions are on the kitchen table." And I went out and looked, and there was a picture of a big bee, and it was on top of a bed, and the letter 9 was next to it. And I was supposed to figure out that this said, "Be in bed by 9." And I did.
Cutler says her dad was never angry about not capitalizing on the popularity of the crossword.
He was rueful, but he had the grace to laugh. He enjoyed the fact that he had done it, and that people did call him the father of the modern crossword.
Is the crossword as modern as ever?
Nowadays, people famously have shorter attention spans. And think about a crossword. A daily puzzle has around 76 clues and answers, each one on a different topic. You're solving a puzzle, your mind's jumping from one thing to the next. I think it's perfect for the modern age.
Throughout the morning, our Susan Spencer is all about fun and games. First up, wordplay.
For millions of Americans, morning means breakfast, coffee, and most importantly, Wordle. I mean, my Wordle is usually done in the first 10 minutes of consciousness.
Yeah, I mean, some people, they play our puzzles the minute they come out.
Everdeen Mason is the editorial director of the New York Times Games.
This has a good amount of space, though, in between.
Zoe Bell is its executive producer. What do people think when you tell them what you do for a living?
It is a cocktail party winner.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wordle, the brainchild of software engineer Josh Wardle, was acquired by the New York Times in 2022. A year later, it was played 4.8 billion times.
Tens of millions of people are playing it every day.
Okay, let's see what happens.
Ooh.
Absolutely nothing. That's the worst possible result. If you're late to the game, here's how it works. Each day, there's a 5-letter mystery word. You get 6 chances to figure it out. With each guess, you learn if your letters are wrong, right, or right, but in the wrong spot. Can you put your finger on what it is in the design of Wordle that accounts for this astonishing success?
If you think about what happens with every guess in Wordle, is you get new information, and I think that's really compelling. And then when you solve it, there's a really, really big moment of satisfaction.
Tell me about it.
Yeah.
Well, it depends on how soon you solve it. It might be a lot of other things too, or is it a better strategy? Okay, so what's the foolproof strategy for doing that?
Some people have the same word every single day.
Is that a good idea?
It can be. I mean, especially if you pick one with a lot of vowels.
Adieu is the most popular first guess, all those vowels. But here's depressing news. Statistically, adieu does not yield the best results.
I actually think that the starting word is important, but so is the second word. Yes. Because if you have a good starting word and then you blow it by not eliminating other letters in your second guess, then you're going to be at 5 or 6.
But this is the genius of its design.
Right, yes.
A genius that's made Wordle a national phenomenon.
All we have is one lousy tea.
At breakfast tables everywhere.
David Pogue now has the story of an unlikely competitive battleground.
We came to this Seattle playground to film the men's and women's Rubik's Cube World Speed Champions. But nobody was there but a couple of 8-year-olds. Unless... No! Yes! Xuanyi Gong and Qixian Cao are the men's and women's speed champions. Earlier this year, Xuanyi set the record, 3.05 seconds, and Qixian set the female record, 4.09 seconds.
Do you spend all your time practicing?
So he currently has 3 major things he's doing, which is to read books, to study, and to practice Rubik's cubes.
Is anybody upset if you don't win?
She says she wouldn't be too upset over it, and she would just practice more when she goes back to home.
They flew here from China for the 2025 World Championships, which are taking place this very weekend.
And China's gonna close it out.
Hungarian architecture professor Erno Rubik invented the cube in 1974. By 1983, crazed fans had bought 200 million of them, trying to unscramble its 43 quintillion permutations, 43 billion. But eventually, the fad cooled, until the internet inspired a comeback. The modern World Championships began in 2003.
At its simplest form, it's just solving the Rubik's Cube as fast as you can.
Kevin Hayes is part of the organizing committee for this year's championships. He's a mean speed cuber himself.
I was the world champion in the 6x6 in 2013, 2015, and 2017.
Wow, do these people here know who you are?
I was like their star back in the day, but now I'm very old.
31 is very old.
But 31's ancient in the Rubik's Cube land. I mean, the new superstars are like 8 to 13.
Put it down, put your hands back down on the timer, and then that records your time.
19-year-old Luke Garrett holds the world record for his average time unscrambling one-handed. Yes! 7.72 seconds. Now, these are not your father's cubes.
They're a lot faster. They use a lot more technology inside them. They have smoother pieces, rounded edges. They have magnets inside of them. You can adjust the tensions.
What do the magnets do for you?
They can help the cube align itself so it stops where you want it to.
Also, the pros memorize hundreds of cube patterns and the moves they need to solve them.
I know what to do with my fingers. That will take this from being like this to being solved.
Garrett is competing in 13 of the 17 championship events, and he's the highest-ranked cuber in the world across all events.
Let's see, 4x4, 5x5, 6x6, 7x7, pyraminx, so like pyramid, cube.
There's even a blindfolded solving event.
So the way you do it, it's easier than it looks.
It's actually not. It involves imagining a letter on each surface and then memorizing pairs of letters as words, or something.
Not bad, okay. So F-O, so that's like, I imagine like foe, like fighting somebody. And then I have to go to K-B, I imagine kibble, like dog kibble.
That makes sense, right?
There
we go.
Insane.
Can I get your signature?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
You don't make much money on the competitive circuit. For Luke Garrett, it's more about the experience.
There you go. Yeah, no problem.
And the friends.
If you had to characterize the people at one of these tournaments,
a lot of people who have a bit of trouble socializing, myself included. You know, I've had a lot of struggles in the past with that. But it's cool to see people who kind of break out of their shell when they go to a competition because they see people who are interested in the same thing they are.
As for Xuanyi and Qixian, they're just getting started.
Can you guys do one-handed?
但是会比较慢，因为我们现在
Yeah, they both know how to play it one-handed.
Can you do it upside down?
我连倒立都不会。
Oh, he says he still doesn't know how to do a handstand yet.
Can you do it asleep?
我有的时候做梦会梦见我在玩魔方。
She says she sometimes dreams about her playing Rubik's Cube.
I hear you're mad. You're a mad cubic man.
So.
And what's going on? Is your mind working? Like you can see it?
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Jeez.
All right.
Is someone timing this?
Here we go.
Where does this come from? Can you talk and?
Oh yeah, I can talk for sure, no problem. I don't know. I always saw it and wanted to solve it, and I always wondered, you know, exactly how it was done, and I looked up all the algorithms and kind of learned the different ways to move the cube. And
Like this came out when I was in junior high school. Look, oh my goodness.
It's pretty fun.
Gee whiz. Now this I can do.
Hey, let go. Nice. That's pretty cool. Not a lot of people can do that. Good job. Tight.
If you like to get lost in a story filled with twists and turns, time for something truly amazing from our Seth Doan.
Two paths here.
I would say.
Do you want to go that way or that way?
I would say this way.
He knows the way and planned it, so we would not.
I'll go one way, you go the other, and we'll both be coming back here before you know.
Okay.
I bet.
And betting against a maze designer in his maze is a bad idea.
Ta-da! Because you see it as a loop.
73-year-old Adrian Fisher is part English gentleman, part nutty professor, and perhaps majority kid.
When you hear there's a maze there, we all want to have a go. It's like being a child. What's forbidden, out of sight? I want to explore it.
We were exploring amid the 2,400 yew trees.
It does take a lot of work. This is a lot of trimming of hedges.
When you plant a maze, you don't plant for a quick result. You plant so that for the next 400 years at least. I don't have a guarantee any maze over 400 years, I can assure you.
But there is a guarantee to 400?
Yeah, take it up with me personally. But
This maze is on the sprawling grounds of Leeds Castle in Kent, England.
People will always want to play with mazes. It's the ultimate playful puzzle.
People have been trying to solve these playful puzzles for centuries, millennia if you consider labyrinths.
A labyrinth has no choices at all. It's a single thread, and a maze has junctions and choices. Labyrinth started 5,000 years ago. There was the great labyrinth of Egypt. And then after 4,500 years, labyrinths or mazes started appearing in Italy, in hedges.
Fisher has worked in 43 countries, building 700 mazes.
It's like a piece of sculpture. You engage with it, you interact, and you go away and you look back as you leave and you keep on talking about it because it's excited you. So it is essentially an art form.
Do you see yourself as an artist?
I think very much so, yeah.
Commissions include, perhaps counterintuitively, the airport in Singapore.
And you've got a plane to catch, and if you get lost, you miss the flight.
The maze in the 2023 thriller Saltburn is his.
You have also done corn mazes through cornfields.
Corn maze, yes, to design the first corn maze in the world in Pennsylvania. Since when I've gone and built over, 420 corn mazes around the world.
His mazes have set Guinness World Records. He's been recognized by royalty, and his maze at Winston Churchill's birthplace, Blenheim Palace, is featured on the £5 note.
It's quite a British thing, mazes, but we absolutely love them.
Helen Bosner-Wilton is the chief executive of the Leeds Castle Foundation. This site draws about 500,000 people a year.
What do visitors say about the maze?
Pretty fiendish, actually.
Fiendish?
Fiendish. A lot of people get lost in it. They do need fishing out.
No, really?
Yeah, absolutely.
What do you mean?
So we have to send our visitor experienced people in to rescue them.
Are you lost?
Yeah, you might want to go down this way and down there.
Go down that one right. That's it. Yep.
It is complicated. I've been through it, but I would think you'd be able to find your way out.
You would have thought, but a lot of people can't.
That's a new dead end there.
The Stout family from Oklahoma was having trouble finding their way.
Keep all the turns to the left.
Okay.
Okay.
Right?
From now.
From
Jimmy is 19.
No Google Maps for this maze.
Roman dodecahedrons, like that, so I can now go there. These are the flags.
The puzzle-obsessed Adrian Fisher's route into this work has the twists of one of his creations. As a teen, he'd built a maze in his father's garden, then while on business, started doing side trips to castles to make a pitch.
Wouldn't it be wonderful if you had a maze in the grounds of your castle? It's different to just looking at suits of armour or furniture or whatever. It gives people something lovely to do.
And he proves one does not need a castle.
Not everybody has a maze in their backyard.
No, we can do something about that, but...
He planted this one about 20 years ago at his home in Dorset, England.
This is good English weather for maze growing, hedge growing.
It'll grow, yes. Then it'll need clipping.
Will you and your wife come out and use your maze?
We're familiar with how to go solving it by now, but...
I'm sure I would imagine.
And when my father told me this, he said, the thing about gardens is it's an opportunity to boast.
And really, what better way to boast than with this status symbol of kings and queens?
How many of us can have a large enough garden to do something which has no other purpose than to be joyful and entertain?
It mixes design, history, and a very old-fashioned form of adventure.
Been in there about 3 hours.
All right, there we go, 9. I'm gonna take the penguin.
Ooh. Brian Baker has the perfect job. His work is play.
Yeah, for 280. We produce board games. We've been doing it in some shape or form for over 165 years. I grew up with all of this.
Baker is the Senior VP of Board Games at Hasbro in Pawtucket, Rhode Island. Here, even staff meetings are fun and games.
If you were on a desert island with 3 of your friends, what game would you take?
It's gotta be Monopoly.
Available today in 114 countries and 47 languages.
This is the Holy Grail.
This is one of the original Monopolies.
Born in the Depression almost 90 years ago, Monopoly is now the top-selling modern board game of all time. Baker says it is all in the design.
A lot of the elements of the board are timeless, they're iconic, everything from the go space to free parking.
But design isn't just about looks, it's also about action. Baker calls it replayability, the most important design element for a game's success.
One of the great things about Monopoly is that in any given game, anyone can be the winner.
Or the loser.
I had a relative who always invariably would burst into tears every time we played,
Well,
before the game was over.
Absolutely, and I think it's not uncommon for somebody to end up flipping the board over and having the tokens fly all over the place.
This is what you want?
Frustration. Yes, and that's why people want to play.
It's rather sadistic, isn't it?
It could be, but we call it competition.
Of course you do.
Yeah.
We ended our visit, how else, with a relatively friendly round.
Chance card.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go to jail. Go directly to jail.
I
Do
hate
not
this
pass
game.
go, and do not collect.
I'm rolling again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Basketball's March Madness may be coming to an end. But another sport's top players have gathered to battle it out in their tournament.
My name is Roberta Cohen, and I'm from Porter Ranch, California.
Marilyn Fishman from Buffalo Grove, Illinois.
My name is Artie Harris, and I'm from Chicago, Illinois.
Arlene Steinberg from San Francisco, California. Go Giants!
It's Mah Jongg madness. Yes, Mah Jongg madness.
5 times.
Are you mad about it?
Absolutely crazy. And look at everybody. Look at all these people in here. Just listen. The noise. They feel good. It's just, I don't know, there's something about it that's sort of sexy. Are we ready?
Gladys Grad is known as the grandmaster of Mah Jongg.
This is the most wonderful game in everdom.
She and her husband Phil organize major tournaments like this one in Las Vegas.
You may begin. Good luck, everybody. Yay!
1 dot.
East.
4 crack.
Right now, many of you out there may be asking, just what the heck is Mah Jongg?
2 crack.
It's an inscrutable game. It's played with tiles decorated in characters and symbols that originated in China sometime between 500 BC and 1875 AD, a rather imprecise estimate. The game then migrated halfway around the world, for some reason, to the Jewish neighborhoods of New York.
After the fad of the 20s, when it was on the cover of the Saturday Evening Post in 1924, it just was pervasive in pop culture.
Marvin Pinkert is director of the Jewish Museum of Maryland, now hosting a traveling Mah Jongg exhibit.
For non-Mahjong players, I think that there's still a stereotype out there that it's your mother's game, but I think that that may be changing too.
Changing slowly.
9 p.m.
At the Las Vegas tournament, there were a few younger players, and even a few men. Fanatics all. How long have you been playing?
63 years. Another round of fun, fun, fun.
4 bam.
3 crack.
Have I mentioned it's a complex game?
They say that this is like gin rummy, but it looks a whole lot more complicated than that.
It's just like a card game. You're going to put together sets of numbers, runs of numbers. That's the easy part. 3 crack. The next thing is it has many more suits than gin rummy and lots of little rules. The different tiles we have, there's a bamboo or a bam. There's the dots. This is a crack.
There are cracks, bams, and dots. Not to mention winds, flowers, and dragons.
Mah Jongg!
Oh, we have a winner.
It's difficult for the players to explain, no matter how hard they try.
I needed a pair, and you can't use a joker on a pair.
Of
or
course
on a
not.
single.
I would never think of doing this.
For 2 days, the play was fast and furious.
So if you need them to powder your tiles, you raise your hand and do the universal, I need a powder boy.
So fast it can turn your tiles sticky. Nothing can stop them.
Endurance when you play all day?
Yeah, we tell you don't take your diuretics.
Made it first line of the day.
Oh, good!
They look like such sweet ladies,
Oh, come on.
but they're ferocious competitors.
Is it?
These are people sometimes who have spent lifetimes together. They've raised their kids together. But when they sit down at that table and their knees go under the table, there's no friends in Mahjong.
Is that right?
6 crack. Posh.
Mahjong fanatics always want more. So Gladys and her husband also organized Mahjong cruises.
Do the people on the cruises ever look out the window and see what they're passing? Or
I have people who stay on that boat. If it's a 7-night cruise, they don't leave the boat. We're going on this trip to China.
There are even exotic Mahjong tours.
To do what?
Play Mahjong. 10 points.
Mahjong is always exciting.
Please come on down.
But in the end, most excited of all was Helena Feldman.
710 points.
Who won the tournament and a check for $1,500.
And I'm just in total shock. Total shock.
this tournament may be over. But Mah Jongg madness rages on.
If you've ever considered taking up chess, now's the time to make your move. David Pogue shows us why.
The pandemic reduced most professional sports to shadows of their former selves. But it's done wonders for one game, maybe the last one you'd ever guess. It's chess.
A boom is taking place in chess like we have never seen, maybe since the Bobby Fischer days. And it's happening all because the pandemic has driven people indoors, and they're looking for something incredible, constructive, educational to do.
Maurice Ashley is a chess grandmaster and a commentator for chess championships.
People have this misconception that it's slow, it takes a long time, it's boring. Why would you want to watch grass grow?
Yeah.
But chess is not like that. Well, not all the time like that anyway.
I'm about to wrap him up.
No time soon. Forget about that dream.
It's definitely not like that in New York City's Washington Square Park, where you can play a pickup game for $5.
Lights out.
With old-timers like David Solomon Reed.
So your move.
He's been playing here for 40 years.
When you guys go back and do the editing, I want the heading to be, I am the last lion of Washington Square Park. The last.
If there's a boom in chess, they're not seeing it here. The players just aren't getting the same traffic they once did.
A good $400 or $500 before the pandemic. Now it's like slow because a lot of tourists are not allowed to come here as far as the flights coming in and out.
So now it's down to what on a good day?
Oh God, I think I squeezed $200, $150, $200 one day.
So where's the boom? You probably saw this coming. It's online. By June 2020, the number of people joining chess.com had tripled from the previous year. The signups grew by 1 million people a month.
I couldn't really see my friends as much, so I was kind of looking for that competitive vice to continue in my life, and I found that through chess.
One of the new members was graduate student Richard Hamilton. The idea is you're playing total strangers?
Yeah, you're playing with, it's kind of cool because sometimes it's like Iran or Albania, some countries that the average American maybe couldn't even point out on a map.
But the chess explosion isn't just people playing.
Oh my God, it's the most beautiful maid I've ever seen.
It's also people watching.
Oh my God! Oh, here comes the owl.
Chess has been around for over 1,000 years, and people are just starting to watch at explosive rates now.
As a teenager, Alexandra Botez won 6 national titles in both Canada and the U.S. Today, at 25, she makes a 6-figure income playing chess live on Twitch, a website where you watch entertaining gamers play video games.
And G3.
But in the pandemic, chess is one of Twitch's fastest-growing spectator sports.
Oh my God, stalemate!
It's very high energy, you're yelling when you lose a piece, you're excited when you win. Sometimes people will put bets on the line, and it's much more interactive, and you feel like you're actually watching a kind of sport.
At one point, you actually threatened to shave your eyebrows?
Yeah. I need to get 2,300 because this ain't gonna be a good look. And I said that if I don't reach a certain rating goal in a 1-month period, I would shave off my eyebrows. It was very motivating.
She got to keep her eyebrows.
Welcome, everybody. I hope we're all ready to behave because we got CBS Sunday Morning filming things today.
And along the way, she's amassed a huge following of fans. About 200,000 people a day log on to watch her play chess.
Thank you so much, Del, for the 5 months. I appreciate it.
And a lot of them pay $5 a month to support her channel. Becoming an online chess star requires more than good chess chops. You have to multitask like crazy.
You start crying like a little baby.
You trash talk, you joke, for 6 to 8 hours at a time.
It's not traditional chess. The ones who are the best are also incredible at chess and also incredible at entertaining.
On one hand, Maurice Ashley can't wait for the return of chess tournaments played in person.
Chess players want to sit across the board. They want to see the player they're playing. They want to shake hands. They want to go after the game and hang out and talk about what fun that was, maybe go over the game where they made mistakes, and then maybe go have a brewski.
But overall, he's thrilled to see how the internet has brought this ancient game to millions of new fans.
So this is not a pandemic bubble that's going to pop?
Oh, no. Pandemic bubble for chess? Not at all. This is a pandemic rocket ship that has taken the game to new levels.